Hey everyone, Crystal here with Our Spring Farm and Country, and it is Soap Sunday once again. So today I'm letting the fragrance of this bar kind of dictate the design. I try to do that on most of my bars. Whatever the fragrance is, I let that kind of mesh into the design itself so they just complement each other. This fragrance that I'm using today I'm going to call Butterfly Garden, or actually Butterfly Flowers. And it has notes of French mimosas and jasmine and lavender and all those beautiful fragrant flowers that you would smell during the summer, and that does attract butterflies. So because of that, I'm thinking some really pretty vibrant colors, and also using a hanger swirl technique. It's actually called the butterfly hanger swirl technique, but I'm not really at it to make it look like a butterfly, but what I want it to do is actually pull the colors through the bar so that you can see all of them and see how intricate it is. And of course, hopefully, fingers crossed, it turns out. So again, let's get to this. I will show you the entire process, and then of course I will fast forward 24 hours and show you the cut so we can see if it actually turns out the way that I've designed it in my mind. So follow along and we'll check this out. Just getting all my supplies set up. I'm using 5 colors in this batch, so I want to be prepared for all of those. Got my frozen goat milk ready, and now I'm melting down my hard oils so I can hit the ground running. While those hard oils are doing their thing over there in the pot, I am just going to measure out my room temperature oils so they'll be ready, and then start to get my tiny containers ready for coloring. I'm going for bright, vivid colors in this one, so I'm not going to actually mix any colors. I want them to stay as is, and the colors I'm using is going to be a bright yellow, a bright pink, a purple that's called Flash Dance. It was actually a sample that was given to me, so I'm putting that in there, and then white and green for the flower stem, of course. Now I'm just adding in my hard oils back to my room temperature oils. I'm going to set them aside into an ice bath so they can start cooling down. And now I'm going to add my lye to my frozen goat milk. Mix that away so that it gets nice and smooth and creamy, and then I can add that together. And also, I don't know if you need it or not, but in the description there's a link to a recipe. It's a beginner recipe. It's very easy. I have step-by-step instructions. You can hit that link. It's a printable version, so you could print it or save it to your computer or your mobile, and you'll have that at your fingertips. So if you're just starting out in soap, it's a great one to start with. There's no fragrance, there's no colors or anything like that. It's just a basic recipe, and then once you're comfortable with the basics, then feel free to get creative, add in scents and colors and designs and swirls and all that fun stuff. But if you're looking for a beginner recipe, check it out in the description. I like to soap between 100 and 110 degrees. So as you saw, my lye just from the frozen goat milk was already at 99 degrees, which was perfect. Set it aside. I got my oils down to about 110. So as long as your lye is cooler than your oils, you're probably good to go. I wouldn't do it the other way around. But once that's ready, I'm going to get those put together and emulsified, and then start splitting out my batter into these 5 containers so I can get my colors put in there, because the real fun is going to begin next. This technique is very fun, and I know I fast forwarded through a lot of this video, but you're going to see exactly how I layer these colors and do this hanger swirl. So I'm using a couple pieces of wood to put my mold on its side at an angle here. The way that this technique really works is that you want to pour it down the side and just layer your colors, and then as the mold fills, you'll remove a board, add more, and then remove a board until it's flat, and then add more, and then do the hanger swirl. So I'm going to layer these colors one on top of another until the mold is flat, and then I will cover it in the white. Well, sorry, actually I'll do the hanger swirl, and then I'll cover it in the white and put a design on the top. But this one is so fun because it creates such a unique design inside the bar. Now I know it's really hard to see how this hanger technique works on camera, but basically I'm taking my hanger, sliding it down to the bottom, and then I come up just a couple centimeters, and then I start swirling out. So I start with a small circle, and then a larger circle, and then a larger circle, and then I come up the side of the mold a little more and do the same thing, a small circle, larger circle, and then largest circle, until I've got that swirl all the way through the bar. Now I want to cover it in the white, so I use my spatula because again I don't want the white to penetrate into the design we've created below. I want it to lay on top of it flat. So let your spatula keep your batter really close to the other batter in your mold already, so it will go nice and smooth over the top and you can create that really nice consistent top layer. Okay, got the white nice and smoothed out, so now I can create the top design. As all of these colors have been sitting here, they're getting thicker in their containers, which I love because my favorite type of bars is to have some sort of texture on the top, not just be a flat, smooth top with a pretty design, but actually have like topography on the top. You can feel it on the bar, you can feel it on your fingers. So this one I'm just going to put down our same colors kind of randomly, just to make sure that they all get on there and they're really shining through. And then I will use my stainless steel chopstick, basically my other tool that I use for soaping, and just create a nice figure 8 type design so that all those colors come through, but it also has got that 3D effect because you can see the white below it and then these, vibrant pinks, purples, and yellows and green on the top. Here is a closer look at the top of the bar now, so you can see that white down there. So you'll have some, again, topography. You've got the little holes in there where the white is shining through, and then the other colors are really defined and they're nice and thick, so they're gonna give you that texture that you're looking for and just kind of makes a cool bar. So it's all preference, but that's how I prefer it, and of course I guess people prefer it because they always sell out pretty quickly. So here we are the next morning and getting this bar cut. Let me show you what this butterfly hanger swirl technique looks like inside the bar. So as I'm cutting it, what happens is if you put these two bars together, the effect is supposed to be you see a full span of a butterfly wing between the two bars. Again, I wasn't really going for the butterfly look per se because, unless people are buying two bars to put together like that, they're probably not going to look like that in their shower. But what I love about it is how it pulls those colors through the bar and gives it such an intricate, really pretty design inside there, and it's not difficult to do. This is considered more of the advanced techniques for soaping, but I found just with a little practice and just with your own creativity, because like I got in there and I did like that small circle, larger circle, largest circle inside the bar. Some you could just go back and forth, or you could just span out a little bit and up. There's so much you can do with that hanger. So if you're just soaping and you've never used the hanger technique before, I use a piece of wire bar. That's what mine is made out of. And I just put that down in there and make some cool designs inside the bar. Sometimes it's a hot mess in there, and sometimes it turns out beautiful like this. So it's, designs like this that just inspire more creativity and make me want to just try more and more in my soap and just have fun with it. But that's it for me today. This is Butterfly Flowers, my spring bar that will be ready on February 1st. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I do release these weekly. And I would love to hear your comments below on what you thought of the bar. Have a great day, everybody.